It had been a theory for some time. Trump derangement syndrome had been a theory for some time. So let's say that you are a Colorado State AG, Attorney General of Colorado. And let's say that you've had the unfortunate thing happen in your state where cartels have taken over your buildings. Let's say there's some apartment buildings. Let's say it's in Aurora, Colorado. And as we were reminded by the Mockingbird media, it was only a few apartment buildings. Do you remember that? Do you remember that, J.D. Vance? Do you hear yourself? It was only a few buildings. And let's say that you become aware of this and it becomes national news. And so you set out to go and first ignore it. It didn't happen. And you have the police department saying, nope, this never happened. And then once there's video of it happening and people testifying to it happening, then you come along and say, it might have happened, we're looking into it. And then it happened and it's a good thing. They never got to the it happened, it's a good thing part. But they have gotten to the investigation stage. Phil Weiser's going to investigate. He's the guy who apparently said it didn't happen, and then it did happen, and then it wasn't that serious a thing, and now he's going to investigate. So what's he going to investigate? I'll tell you in a second. You had better take an opportunity to have my friend Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, Bulwark Capital Management, provide you what he's investigated in terms of what our financial life is going to look like if President Trump gets done all the things he wants to get done with the financial system. Because President Trump, God willing, if he gets there, the Lord protects him, he's going to be in office. He is animated to bring the economy back, manufacturing, etc. He might be the guy who actually signs the papers to bring about micronuclear in our country so we could actually have sustainable power that could change our economy for the better in enormous ways. So this can change your retirement. It's not always that you're set up to take advantage of things like this new economy under Trump. So in his first free live webinar post-election, Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, Bulwark Capital Management, will talk about what might happen under Trump presidency, what he hopes happens, and how you can take advantage of this. This is the last live free webinar of the year. Zach will talk about how risk management can set you up for this and how they employ risk management by actively managing every single portfolio, which can reduce risk and volatility. It's free to attend. You just have to go to knowyourriskradio.com. That's KNOW. knowyourriskradio.com and register.
Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security. Any references to performance of securities are thought to be materially accurate, and actual performance may differ. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 24308.
So when the company that owned these apartment buildings sent one of their employees out to investigate the buildings and to see what was going on and to see that they were ready to rent, he was just doing an audit. When he went into the buildings, there were already people in one of the units. And it was an open unit, and he was checking to make sure it was clean and ready to go for the next resident. And there's some guys there, and they said, you need to leave or pay us money. And he was a representative of the owner saying, well, no, but wait, I work for the company that owns these buildings, and this is what he looked like after the run-in with these guys. This is him in his car taking a picture of himself with blood all over his face, all over his beard, all over his shirt. And there is, in fact, video, I think, of this confrontation. Look at this man. If you're listening to this on audio, again, I'll describe it. He has clearly a black eye already forming. His lip looks to be split. There's blood pouring out of it. And he's got a fair amount of blood all over his white T-shirt. In his car headed to the hospital. So these were people, gang members who were extorting folks and collecting rent for them, not the apartment company. Local TV is reporting that the AG there, man, he's taken action.
The owners of the troubled apartment complexes in Aurora that claimed their buildings had been taken over by Venezuelan gangs are now facing an investigation themselves.
Claimed. Now, I'm just noticing he doesn't have blood on his shirt, the newscaster. His lip is not split. He is not bleeding from the nose, and he has not formed a black eye on his face. Claimed. Do you see how they do this? There are people watching this going, yeah, they lied. They claimed.
Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm Mark Salinger.
Mark, you are a liar. You're a liar. It's just, sorry, Mark.
Documents obtained by 9 News Investigate show the Colorado...
Okay, stop. I'm all over the buttons today. You didn't obtain them. I love this trick the media plays. Documents obtained. They sent you these. You went to a website. You didn't obtain them.
The Attorney General's office has issued subpoenas to CBZ management over recent months. They're investigating potential violations of the state's safe housing laws that regulate housing conditions. The subpoena demands that the management company turn over documents related to how it screens tenants, its finances, how it handles maintenance requests, and how it promotes its apartments to potential residents.
Everything they could nail them on to take them out of business, they're doing. And maybe they did all these things. Maybe these are slums. Maybe they did illegal advertisements, because I think in Colorado you're not allowed to talk about certain ages and genders. But are you kidding me? They claimed they're being investigated. What about the cartels? What about the people beating up representatives of the company? Is this going to be approached at all?
The management company owns several apartment buildings in Aurora, claims that the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua had taken them over and were extorting residents.
He's saying claims as they're showing video of the gang members with long guns going throughout the apartment building.
Viral online with this video. They were amplified by former President Trump, who even came to Aurora last month for a speech on immigration.
They were amplified, and eventually the police admitted it was happening. They continue to describe this as a series of claims, and now Mr. Misinformation himself, Orange Man Bad, literally the reincarnation of Hitler.
Documents obtained by 9 News show there have been questions about habitability and cleanliness at the apartment complexes for years. More documents show
the apartment owners said, they wrote, we bought these buildings in a state of disrepair. We bought them knowing they were not up to code. We committed monies, millions of dollars to get them up to code. We did this to improve this conditions, living conditions, and yes, to make more money. He can't seem to bring himself about to admit that portion of it. But he continues to say they claim. That's the way it's played. And that guy, man, that's a nice white shirt. As people who live in the world but are not of it, how do you respond to something like this? I hate him. I don't get to do that. I don't get to do that. I can say he's a liar. He is. I can say that they're doing the game of they claim. They are. I can point out the equal balance on this, that the apartment owners said, yeah, these places were slums. They're in states of disrepair. We're in the process of fixing them up. Here's some of the investments we've made. I can point that all out, but I can't hate him, and yet I do. Right now, I hate him. So what do I have to do? Same thing I'd ask you to do, is ask the Holy Spirit to take over. Remember that you probably lied to on occasion. Maybe it's a white lie. Maybe you don't want to hurt somebody. Maybe you want to be popular. Maybe you don't want to lose a friendship. All sorts of reasons people lie. And remember, he who extends mercy will receive it. That's what God tells us time and time and time again. And even when it's hard, we're supposed to obey, because God didn't say asterisk unless it's super hard.